This is Ken Pyle with Vioti TV. We're wrapping up coverage here of the Parks Associates Connections event of 2011 with Kurt Scharf. Kurt, you moderated many of the panels we saw here, and very impressive as usual, the content and the quality of the content, the speakers you had. A lot of good takeaways. One that I saw or left an impression on me was from Scott Burnett of IBM. He suggested kind of a social network of devices. You know, we'll be seeing that as things progress. What were some of the impressions you had?
Well, I think a lot of the impressions were actually fostered from our great Tuesday evening demonstrations, where we picked 3 topics that we really feel are defining the connected home or consumer today. That is multi-screen ability to access and view and interact with content, gesture recognition, or what they call human interaction, a la the Xbox Kinect was the second, and of course the cloud. I mean, there wasn't one panel here where somebody didn't bring up the idea of the cloud, how we're best going to organize and access our content, and of course the question of how you're going to do that remains unanswered right now, because it could be in the home, it could be outside the home, it's going to be accessed from mobile devices, consumer electronics devices, so it is a very, very interesting time.
Well, it seems like convergence, you know, that obviously that word's been bandied about for the 25 years that Parks has been around, but truly you have the tablet, you have the cloud, all this stuff does seem to be coming together.
Well, it is, and I think that was a key story. As you referenced Scott Burnett at IBM, there was also a great keynote from Verizon, Eric, this morning, and talking about the fact we're going from 1 billion connected devices to 8 billion connected devices by 2015. And the story is not the devices themselves, but how do we make those devices intelligent? How do we best serve the appropriate application or service through those devices? And I think that's why we see messaging from the service provider community here at this conference about how they're going to tackle that. So the fact that Verizon is now offering a commercially available home control solution, you know, 5 years ago that was unheard of. But they're really thinking about the power of their in-home network and what they can do with it in terms of value-added services as much or maybe even more than bringing that fiber network to the home.
Well, and it's interesting because they bring a scale that no one else can, well, maybe AT&T can bring, and they are also on the panel, but they bring this scale that heretofore maybe wasn't there.
Well, I think that's correct. And again, the story up until now has been about the consumer going out buying an individual device, and that's worked. We talk about the success of tablet computers or smartphones, or the fact that 50% of TVs sold this year will be internet connectable. So that's a great success story, but how do we bring the scale of not only providing the services to those devices, but there was a customer support element that Eric Bruno talked about as well, that they're working with partners to be able to handle incoming phone calls from consumers, you know, if their home monitoring service doesn't work properly.
Yeah, that was clearly the theme of reliability and security was big, but also that where you touched upon the partners. We saw that where you literally have these different silos of different industries now being tied together.
Yeah, I think there's no better space that that helps define that trend than connected TV itself. That we just finished a panel where we talked about the multiple types of companies that are really trying to address that space, whether it's service providers working with either their traditional systems integrators, integration partners, or working with online video publishers. We've heard a trend that the CDN companies, whether it's Limelight, Akamai, Level 3 and the others, are really bringing together assets in video publishing to metadata management, to analytics, and how they put all those pieces together, I think will be the story that we'll be following the next 2 years, is how does an end-to-end service get built in this space?
Well, and as far as stories you'll be following in a couple of years, I think some of the things that Glenn Lurie said were kind of provocative and interesting as far as going forward.
Yeah, I think so. The fact that that of course the AT&T story today that the public knows is iPhone, iPad, consumer-facing devices. The fact is that they want to play in the energy space, the healthcare space. They want to play in security. They want to play in the automotive space. And really the question is, and Glenn put it succinctly, anything that has an electric pulse running through it is going to be connected on our network. So what happens when we reach the $50 billion or 50 billion node connection point in this space? When we have devices that are sharing intelligence with each other, what sort of things can we do? I think of things as simple as, well, give me the best route to fight through the morning traffic. If you know what each individual car is reporting in terms of their speed. Healthcare, the more information we're able to collect and aggregate and sort through, I think will benefit consumers even more.
Well, and we saw it just a few minutes ago as far as the connected TV, the whole aspect of using those TVs to be connected in a two-way fashion.
Yeah, that's true, and I think that's going to occur in a number of ways. We heard about video conferencing, for example, and how a 42-inch or bigger screen in the home is going to be your portal through which something like video conferencing gets accessed. The role of social networking in helping to guide me as the viewer to what I want to watch the most, I think is an awfully interesting perspective here. And how am I going to take all that choice of content that's coming in through that TV, sort through it, receive recommendations about what I could be viewing? That is a big trend right now. And I would say, and you and I were talking about this, how we offload some of those things, whether it's social networking or recommendations or other types of features. Big trend this year is, let's take it off the TV itself and put it on the tablet display. So my interactive TV experience is not that intrusive experience that it may have been a couple of years ago, but it becomes one that's really personal. So that leads to a lot of questions about, okay, what's the advertising model look like? If I've got a true one-to-one relationship with the viewer, how do I personalize it? There was a great example last night of, okay, not everybody wants to see the Coca-Cola commercial, but some people may want to see the Diet Coke commercial. So the broadcaster can be transmitting the regular Coke ad on the TV, but Dad gets to see the Diet Coke ad. And I thought that was a really relevant example.
Yeah, and what's phenomenal about that is it's hard to believe that really it was just a little over a year ago that we had, the first successful tablet.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we quoted our statistic here a number of times. There were 110 tablet announcements made at the Consumer Electronics Show this year. We anticipate that it will sell 55 million total units will have been sold by the end of this year. And so the impact of having that high quality second screen now as an interactive tool for my video and my other home services, we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that Verizon wants to use the tablet as an interface for my home security and my home control as well. So what is going to be the impact of having that interactive tool?
Well, I guess we have to come back here next year to find out.
Well, we hope that we keep bringing them back, Ken, and of course you guys are always welcome here.
Well, Kurt, always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, Ken.